Hey guys, it's your favorite host, Carlos from Carlos on Call. Are you looking to make a podcast of your own? Look, Anchor's the easiest place to do that. They give you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or your computer. They have the best creation tools that allow you to record and edit all your podcasts so it sounds great. They'll even distribute your podcast for free so it can be heard anywhere from Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and many, many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Look, it's really a no-brainer. If you're looking to make a podcast, do it with the guys at Anchor. The easiest way to make a podcast online. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Carlos on Call, a place where we help people navigate the business of making money online. We answer questions on finance and the way it affects your life, relationships, and everything else in between. So sit back and enjoy. All right, guys, it's your favorite host, Carlos from Carlos on Call. We have the much anticipated interview with Mr. JJ Wenrich. He has a website entitled teachingkidstoBuyStock.com. JJ, are you there?
I'm here.
Awesome. Had a few technical difficulties, but we have finally gotten Mr. Wenrich here to our show. Very, very excited. The website's entitled Teaching Kids to Buy Stock. Can you first start by explaining that? Because a lot of people hear that and they're thinking kids, stock. Can you start by explaining that a little bit?
Yeah, no problem at all. And thank you for having me on your show. I really appreciate you reaching out and that we could connect. And the name of the website, it actually comes from the name of the book that I put out. The title is Teaching Kids to Buy Stocks. But then there's a subtitle on that book, Stories and Lessons for Grown-Ups. And really, the site started from me publicizing the book. Mm-hmm. And then it's evolved from there, and it's becoming more than just something for a landing page for the book as it's evolved. But it all started with that, and there's a catch behind the title, teaching kids to buy stocks, and then you say stories and lessons for grown-ups. What the book does is it tells the story really of both my career a little bit and also what I've done with my kids as a parent.
Okay.
And I try to blend the two stories together to give a parent, a teacher, or anybody that works with kids an opportunity to learn about the stock market in a way that it hasn't been done, where it's very light, that there's humor involved. And I'm trying to pull some folks into the stock market, or at least learning about it for financial literacy, folks that may not otherwise read a book about the stock market or really don't want to learn about the stock market. But hopefully if I can do it in a fun way, then I bring them in. And so, yeah, it tells the story of my career in that I've been an investment professional for about 20 years now. Mm-hmm. And I've worked with both folks that don't know anything about the market but have money to invest. But I've also worked with folks that manage money and manage millions and billions of dollars of other people's money. And I've had conversations with both parties on a daily basis, and both ends of the spectrum, if you will, when it comes to the investment world. But what I found is I was using a lot of the same language with both conversations. I might use a line that I did with my kids. I might find them using that with a corner office wealth manager somewhere. Mm-hmm. And over time, I started to tell folks the story about, well, here's what I've been telling my kids as they've grown up. And along the way, somebody said, you should write some of this stuff down. And I think you've got a nice story to tell. And eventually I took that advice, and that was, that's the book that came out in May. Right. And then from there, I'm trying to build a platform for for financial literacy, because I feel like there's a lot of people doing a lot of great things that I'd like to help lift them up. I'd like to put out things of my own as well, but try to be a landing site for all the good stuff that's out there that helps parents and teachers have conversations with their kids.
Right.
Because that's what I want to. That's what I want to see happen. Is I just want to see more adults talk to kids about money, because it really plants a seed that can change their life.
Right, and that's what we're trying to do here is change the culture and get parents and families to realize that the importance in teaching kids these sort of things. And I read somewhere, or I think I saw it somewhere, that you actually matched your kids as far as their savings. If you told them if they saved the money that you would match it. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really where the story with my kids started, was when they were really little. They were 3, 4, and 5, thereabouts. So I had 3 kids in 3 years with my wife, Jody.
Mm-hmm.
And when they were young, like most kids, they like to spend their money. And once they realize that you can trade coins and paper bills in for candy and toys, they think that's a pretty good deal. And so they like to do that right away. And I was a little disheartened that I always saw them spending all their money. And so I, on the spot one day, said, you guys could just save $500 someday. I will match it.
Right.
And they took me up on it, and they started to save their money a little bit better.
Right.
And over time, when I realized what I had done, that evolved into, I'm going to match it into a stock account. And it took years for this to happen, but I was able to teach them just the very, very basics of what a stock is and what you might look for if you're looking for a good stock, not just any stock.
Mm-hmm.
And over years, they were able to decide, I'm going to spend that $500 that he matched. I'm going to buy Apple and Disney or Microsoft, or things that they felt like they knew and understood at a very elementary level.
Right.
And as they understood it a little bit better, as they get older, now they are, 12, 13, and 14, they'll say things that are profound even to a professional investor, because the way they've learned it. And it just, what I've discovered from professional investors and people that are in the market that understand it at a deeper level,
mm-hmm.
is they like to make it really complicated. And so there's a communication gap between the folks that understand the market best and those that need to understand the market better. They don't always speak the same language.
Right.
And so what I'm trying to do is say, once you teach people that don't understand it at a deep level, the basics, they'll really bring you down to earth as an investor. And it's amazing what these kids will say to you. And so that's kind of the evolution of the book. Was it started with that $500 challenge. If you kids can save this money, then I'll match it. And that gave them some motivation to save instead of spend.
Right.
And then over time, we use that as the conversation to that springboard of the conversation into deeper things.
Okay. So is it really, I don't want to say easy, but is it really that easy for these families to talk to their kids about money, or do you find that it would be uncomfortable? I mean, what would you tell parents as far as talking to kids about money and stocks?
I don't think it is easy, because I don't think that it's being done. I don't think that a lot of parents feel like they know enough to have that conversation. And if they do, maybe they're just not having it, because
right.
it's probably not always comfortable, especially if money is something that causes stress in your life. That's not a stress you want to pass down to your kids.
Most definitely.
And so it's a conversation that's not happening enough. It's happening, just not enough in
mm-hmm.
the home or in the school. And so what I would try to say is that it's not that difficult, though. We can make it really simple. Just talk about what you know,
mm-hmm.
and don't make it a big thing. Talk about how much stuff costs when kids are growing up, when they're little, when you're shopping together, and what I'd say is that I think that it's hard for folks, but it doesn't have to be. And if you just decide you want to do it and you start to do it, you'll find that there's little tricks you can do along the way that make it easier.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to make it a stressful thing. You can just make it as simple as being aware of how much different things that kids like cost, so that they have a baseline that, okay, Pokemon cards cost this much. As they go forward, that'll help them have a sense of scale for whether they're getting a good deal when they're shopping,
Mm-hmm.
or recognizing a good business. If they see, wow, these guys are making a lot because they're selling something that costs a little bit and they're selling it for quite a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they might decide they want to get on the other side of the transaction and be on the business side instead of the consumer side.
Okay.
And so just having little conversations like that go a lot further than I think maybe we appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what the goal is just to say it's not super simple to manage tons and tons of money. You shouldn't suddenly take over your retirement money and go crazy in the stock market. I don't think that's a good recipe.
Right.
But it's okay to talk to your kids about money and to talk to them about here's what the stock market is. And if they're saving some money while they have a long time until they're going to need it, then let them put some of it to work with their own ideas so they can learn a little bit.
Yeah, that's awesome advice. This the stock game that you guys played. Explain that to our listeners a little bit, because if I find it, if you make it fun or make it interesting for kids, then they're more apt to want to listen or let it soak in or at least be more open to try it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is really a cool thing that started when I was little. So I had a 7th grade teacher
Mm-hmm.
that enrolled us in a stock market game that the Kansas State University put on,
Mm-hmm.
where they give you pretend money to invest in whatever stocks you want to buy. And it's a great way to learn. That's how I was introduced to the stock market. And so when my 3 kids were growing up, it was probably about 5 years ago, I decided, let's have a little contest. We were starting the school year, and it was Labor Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, let's each pick 2 stocks, or not each of us, but each of the kids. I didn't want to subject myself to any criticism or anything. But each of the kids picked 2 stocks. We had started to have a conversation about this is what a publicly traded company is versus something that's not, just by watching the businesses that were around us. And so they would each pick 2 stocks, and we would track for the next 12 months. After 12 months, here is who would have made the most money if you'd have invested in each of these 2 companies equally.
Mm-hmm.
And then to make it fun, I bought a little trophy online. There's websites where you can get trophies made for really